From the bottom, we out here getting it. Don't know what a limit is. Only surround yourself with people you plan to finish with. Consistency the key, unlock the door to your dreams. Prepare, plan, and execute, complete, and then repeat.
What up? Back with another episode of From the Bottom podcast. As always, we got your host Fitz. We got Ty.
Yep.
We got Shalisha.
Hello.
We got Tati.
Hi.
And so I don't know how to follow up with that, but how's everyone been? Anything interesting, fun, happy since the last time we spoke? Podcast.
I had a burrito today.
Wow, that's intense.
You know, when you're
It was delicious and
When you're what?
it was good.
okay, let me ask you guys a question real quick. Because this happened after the burrito was got. I think, well, you had 2 burritos today, but
Ooh.
yeah. So after the original burrito, we was driving, and is it just me, or when someone's driving and they do something to you on the road, like they get all up close on you or, you know, cut you off, do you try to not follow the car physically, but like watch them on the road to see what they do? And you ever wonder what ends up happening to that person? Like what kind of life they go on to lead? And, you know, like I be getting so deep into it. I be like there's a car today where they were all up on me and they got right up on me. And then they did that thing where they tried to get over in the other lane and like go by me. But the car in the other lane that was right by me, we were keeping the same speed limit, so he couldn't get by me. So then he got right behind me again. And it was cool because he couldn't get past us. And that's what he's trying to do. So I was like controlling the flow and everything. And then this is what made me mad. We were in 2 lanes and then it opened up to 3 lanes and he sped up and went around all the traffic and got in front of everybody. And so I just want to know what happened to that dude or that woman, because it's really bugging me because they cheated.
There is no cheating, bro. It's the
Are you mad that they were going faster than you? Like,
nah,
they been going a little faster?
Nah, they was just being super aggressive, and it's like, bruh, you don't got to do all that. And they was being super
Did they almost
aggressive.
cause an accident?
They was just all up on me.
No, they didn't.
They was all up on me. They was like
you couldn't see the license plate type of all up on you?
Yeah, they was all up on me. They try to threaten you by driving all up close on you, and then when you don't speed up, they try to slow down because they don't want you to like be extra or whatever. But they kept getting all up on me. So I don't know. I feel like that's like if you go to the grocery store and someone runs in front of you to get in line before you. It's like you don't have to do all that. You know, now I got to watch you. Now I got to judge you and see what you scanning and make assumptions about you.
I don't know about that.
And follow you out in the parking lot.
No, that's a choice.
I definitely think if
you want to be petty,
if you got a whole cart full of groceries, you know, overflowing, and I got this little basket with 5 things in it, I'm going to try to get in front of you. If the self-service checkout is too long and all this other stuff, and I'm not saying like book it like sweating at the end of it, you know, there's only but if it seemed like, you know, if I walk a little bit faster, I think I could get in front of you in this line, you know, I might go for it. But, you know, nothing too extra here. Definitely, that was on the way to the taco place, actually, that this happened. It was a white Infiniti SUV. I'm over here in the passenger side of the vehicle. And next thing you know, we in my little, you know, lovely, dovely 4-cylinder blue Yaris. Don't need to be doing all that in the Yaris. And we over here getting all angry and aggressive.
I wasn't getting angry.
Oh, no, I was getting angry.
I was laughing. I was laughing.
Oh, no, you was over here talking about wins and dubs.
Yeah, I won.
Like, But then you said you lost because they got in the third lane.
I was winning, and then they ended up winning.
Pain, Fitz. I feel
they
your
was
pain.
winning.
How you?
But
You turned the whole.
Let's driving with y'all though.
let me
in
say
the
something.
road, bro.
No.
Everyone just trying to get to where they're going.
I turn into the black version of Karen when I'm on the road. Like, you're not supposed to be doing that.
Yo, don't say that.
What
There
is it,
no
Ken?
black version of Karen.
Ken?
No, that's
what they call him. I turn into Ken on the road.
Oh
I'm like the
God.
enforcer. I come through and I just be making up stuff for no reason, taking down names. I've followed people
I
before.
feel like you're always getting like into something on the road, like road rage, something like something.
It's not
is
road
always
rage.
happening with you on the road, like
It's not road. That's you. You got the road rage.
No,
I never said I
don't have
did.
the road.
But
I don't have
you-
road rage.
You have road.
I don't have road rage because I feel like if you have road rage, you can't control really what you're doing. But everything, I be talking crap, but I'm not out of control. Like, I just be talking crap, but I'm not sitting over here like if I brake check someone, I say I'm gonna brake check them.
To yourself. Did they hear
out
you?
loud? No, of course they can't hear me because they're in another car. But I'm saying I didn't do it, and then I'm like, oh, where did that come from? I consciously do it on purpose. But I don't lose control to where I brake check them, and then I'm like, oh, I don't know where that came from. How'd that happen? I just saw red, and I woke up, and now I brake. You know, like, no.
You said in the SUV,
I don't think. You don't have to do all that time.
I feel like you can do all that.
Red.
Yeah,
you can, but I don't feel like that's the normal. I don't feel like that. Like, I have road rage.
It's all in.
Like you just described.
I don't have road rage.
Yo.
I don't have road rage because I'm not over here almost getting in accidents. I'm just observing and talking about what I'm observing.
That's almost an accident. Well, if you successfully do this accident.
Nah, if they hit me from the back, if they do that, then you know that's on them.
No, that's on brake. What about
no
brake check them?
I'm saying it's their fault. You're supposed to be at least one car length behind someone. If
by law, it's their fault because they hit you from behind. But if you intentionally know that by brake checking them, there's a possibility of them hitting you. Isn't that the purpose of brake checking them?
That's on them though, because they're supposed to be following the law. That, you know.
So when you brake check somebody, what is the purpose of you doing it?
Because if they're riding all up on me and I need to get over, I need to stop or something, they're all up on me, then they're gonna hit me. So I'm letting them know.
Understanding. So you're brake checking them knowing they're gonna hit you.
No, not knowing they're gonna hit me, letting them know you're too close. And if I did need to do this and I couldn't actually control this situation, you would have hit me. So I'm still controlling it to where they're not gonna hit me, but letting them know, hey, if something did happen and I did need to stop, you would have just hit me right now, and you have kids in the car.
Or you could just.
I don't think you're controlling it because if you're brake checking them and they hit you, then you're not controlling it.
If I brake on my brakes and they hit me, they were too close.
Did you go to drive?
Yes, I agree. But when you brake check somebody, you have the knowledge of there's a chance they're gonna hit me.
There's always a chance someone can hit you on the road. If that's what that doesn't make sense though. To me, that doesn't make sense. If I'm coming to a red light and I stop my car and someone's behind me, there's a chance that they could still hit me regardless. Like, people get hit all the time when they're staying still, you know? If we're driving 80 miles an hour and someone is right up on you, if someone is right up on you and you're driving 80 miles an hour,
no one's saying they should be that close to you. Nobody's saying they're right, but by you brake checking them, you're
how do I let them know to get off?
Having an accident.
How do I let them? No, not really, because the only way that would happen is if they set up.
Lanes? Were you able to speed up a little bit?
Sometimes there's a car on the right of you.
No, but there's one specific incident.
Switch lanes for what?
I'm just saying, there's other ways around it to not brake check somebody.
If they in a rush, they can get another lane. It's like, y'all, you trying to put it all on him.
I'm not putting it all on him. I said they should have been that close.
Why you yelling, bro? Man, calm down.
I'm not yelling. Maybe my microphone's
We're going to get off this topic because I think it's sensitive to Tatiana. I don't do this on a regular basis. It's just rare circumstances where someone is being too aggressive.
Yes, you do.
And then I have to.
Yes, you do. 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 Yes
I don't want to get no argument again on the podcast.
Well,
I do not
I'm
do
supposed
this.
to be going camping this
I try to
week.
memorize
I'm so
people's
excited
plates.
to be in nature. You know, I'm really juiced about it. It's been a minute. It's only a couple days, but it'll be good to get out there, go fishing, hiking, take some pictures. So good times, good vibes. It'll be great.
She going to a resort in Vegas. Ain't no nature out there.
I'm going camping at Duck Creek. It's in Arizona.
I think it's in
one
Utah.
of the two. I think it's in Utah.
It's in Utah.
Yeah, you don't even know your states.
I think it's the same one that we went to last time, but I'm not sure.
Nah, that was in Arizona.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's why I'm getting it mixed up.
Where I got the ticket, or I got.
Me and Dad was just talking about that this morning.
You jumping in the water?
This morning. If it's clean, yeah.
It won't be clean after you jump into it. Ah!
I don't see why not. But...
not here for the go.
Hey.
No.
He always be trying to get on you.
It's okay.
I was asking a genuine question. Some black people can't swim.
Some people can't swim.
Oh Lord.
Well, let's get into this podcast because we got something good scheduled for today, as always. But, you know, getting used to this podcast thing, so I think I forgot to tell people to subscribe. So if you have not subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, hit the like, comment, share. Yes. Go check out fitzmindset.com, at Fitzmindset on Instagram. We're going to have From the Bottom podcast clips coming up. So all your favorite clips, all your favorite gems from the episode, we're compressing those down. Going to be putting 30-second to about a minute clips up, just so people don't have to go through the whole podcast and get some of the gems. We're going to have them right there for you. So make sure you go check out From the Bottom podcast clips. We should have those up in the next week or so. And every week we'll upload new videos and stuff like that. But yeah. And because we're on entrepreneurship stuff, the reason we're actually doing that is, one, to add value to our viewers, but two, the more videos and stuff we post to the YouTube channel, the more views we're likely going to get. So if we post one podcast a week, well, that's only one video that, you know, we can get views on. But if we take 10, 20 videos from the podcast, make them a minute each, and then post those, that's 20 videos for the week. So now Instagram too, because we put it on Instagram, but YouTube sees that and it's more likely to show us to other people. So that's a hack. If you are starting out and you're on YouTube or any social media platform, the more you're posting on these things and figuring out ways to repurpose, the more likely you will be seen. So write that one down. But let's get into it. So I was driving the other day and I was talking to Tati, and we were going over a body of water. We were on a bridge, right? And on this bridge, you could see boats, right? You could see boats in this lake. And it got me thinking, you know, like, we're in this vehicle and they're in a vehicle. We're both in vehicles, but their vehicle is on water. Like, that vehicle is meant for the water and ours was meant for land. And so it got me thinking, like, how many times do people take their vehicle that's meant to be on land and try to drive it in water? Not literally, but as a metaphor. You know, like, it wouldn't make sense when we think about it, but that's what people do in their actual lives. They'll take the vehicle that they have, their vehicle for success that I like to call it, and they'll drive it somewhere that's not actually meant for their vehicle. And so what would it look like a boat trying to drive on the highway, or a car trying to drive in a lake? You know, like, that vehicle is not meant for that journey. And so I thought it was important that we talk about, you know, our vehicles for success and how we use those vehicles to get us where we're trying to go. You know, because a boat, if you're trying to get somewhere on water, that's the right vehicle for that journey. Trying to be somewhere on land, the car is going to be the right vehicle. If you're trying to fly, maybe the car is not the best vehicle. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to open it up to that, give our viewers a little background on the vehicle for success, get right into this question. So how much do you guys think your vehicle to success is worth, and how do you know? And I'll open that up to anyone that wants to take it first.
How much is your vehicle worth?
Yes. How much is your vehicle, like a dollar amount?
Mm.
No, I'm
That's
bad
tough.
with dollar amounts on stuff.
No, that's tough. It's all subjective, but I'm gonna say mine is worth about $1,200.
Nah, you're not gonna know. Nah,
Simple.
you're not about to do that
Simple.
to your vehicle.
It's
That
simple,
vehicle
bro.
good to you. That vehicle good to you.
It's a bike.
All right. I'm not.
Your
Not
vehicle's a bike,
Hey,
we okay.
meaning
it's a hybrid bike. I can go off road. I can go on pavement. Go through the mud, the water, and then if I need to get on the water, I just take my bike with me and put it on the boat.
Okay, so let me break it down then. So when I say vehicle for success, it's actually a metaphor for the activities that you do to get to the goals that you've set, right? So this vehicle is like your transportation system to get you to where you want to be, or going in the direction of where you want to be. So when I ask about what's it worth, what I'm pretty much saying is like, what are the things that you're doing on a daily basis that are going to get you to where you want to go? What is that worth? Like a monetary value, not nothing too deep or anything like that. Just a concrete, like if I was selling my value today and somebody was giving me market value for it, how much could I sell it for?
Mm.
what's your answer?
You know, like my bike story.
No.
Well, no, it wasn't. I think it was a good metaphor, but I think where I was going with the question was trying to just get people to look at the things that they do daily. And maybe I didn't describe the vehicle for success as well as I should have, but it's essentially just the activities that you do. You know what I'm saying? So what I feel like mine are worth are, I would say 2 million right now. I
What?
would say 2 million, because
No, for
the
real?
way that I look at
That's
it
a high
is,
number.
I look at it like, even if the money's not in my bank account, it's just not there yet. It hasn't been deposited. It's already my money. It just hasn't been deposited yet. So the things that I'm doing, I don't want to shortcut myself and say, oh, it's only worth this much, but it's actually worth this much. So let's say I say 2 million and it's only worth 200,000. Well, when I get to 200,000, I'm not going to get comfortable, because it's like, well, I know that I'm worth more than this, like the things that I'm doing are worth more than this. So how I know, how much my vehicle to success is because this is the goal that I've set. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of the things that I was reading in Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill was that a big reason why people don't get the monetary number or the amount that they seek is because they don't actually put a number to anything. They don't put like a concrete number. They just say, I want more of this, or I want, no matter what it is, I want more of this, or I want less of this. I want to lose weight, but some people don't put a number on that. I want to get more money. I want to raise, but they don't put a number on it. So when you put a number on something, your brain automatically starts to do things to reach that, like problem solving and visualization and things like that. Your focus may change, because with I want more money, that could be $1 more, that could be $2 more. You never know. But when you put things in concrete form, you can start actually working towards those. So that was the basis of the question, just to get everybody thinking, like, what is my value actually worth to me today?
I'm gonna say $1 million.
1 million?
That's it.
Yes. I still have other things I'm working on to get closer to your little 2 million, but right now I'd say 1 million.
So doing the activities that you're doing, and of course, you know, activities change, you know, your real estate license. So we'll just keep it at the work ethic that you have. At the work ethic that you have right now, how long do you think that it would take you to have that million in your bank account? Or to have $1 million in assets?
I think, you know, we can get it done. I would say if we're putting numbers on it, like you said, to get more specific, I'm gonna shoot for, I'd say about 3.5 years.
Okay.
At the most.
But,
But
3.5.
Interesting.
At the most. Because my interest is peaked, and real estate is only the first avenue. It's going to be one of the main things, but it's also going to open up a lot of time and opportunities for me to get into other things that I'm interested in as well. So it's only the first step.
There's actually like an interesting perspective out there, and you guys have probably heard of it, but it's where when you set a goal, like you said 1 million was your number, I said 2 million. If you multiply that number by 10 and you try to get to that number, you'll actually surpass the original number that you put, you know? So if you were trying to earn $10 million instead of 1 million, you may not earn the 10, but you'll probably earn more than the 1 million, because your plan is going to look different when you're trying to reach 10 million than when you're trying to reach 1 million. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's the interesting part, is that you say 1 million, but if you multiply that by 10 and you work like you're trying to get 10 million, you'll probably get more than the million. So it's just crazy how our brain works when we put something into concrete form. What does Ty and Tati think? The T's.
Since y'all putting a number on it. Interesting. I'm gonna say about 10 million right now. If we talking about overall development, not just in the business department, but overall, I'm gonna say about 10 mil, bro.
That's big.
A couple of duffel bags, you feel me?
And when do you think you'll have 10 million in assets or in the bank?
I'm gonna say probably 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Yeah.
So right now, what's that game plan look like?
Can't tell you that, brother. trying to steal my money. What's going on?
Nah, that's what the listeners in for. They like
the game. At least give a little sneak peek.
Yeah, you ain't gotta give a. You ain't gotta.
So haters like you can take it.
Yeah, just want to know if it's vinegar based or we just want to know.
White vinegar.
The game plan, man, is to have a routine set in place. So my routine is I get up about 4:30 in the morning, probably every day. Get to work. I work on schoolwork. I work on professional development, listening to videos, reading my books. This is the book I'm reading right now. Quiet Mind. I don't know if y'all can see that. Yeah. So, really just getting up early, man, getting a start to the day and getting those extra hours in that I can really focus on it. Because once 8 o'clock hits, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you know, people are getting up, people want to text you and talk to you. So there's no distractions. So I get a fresh start. Every morning I get a fresh start. And just being consistent, working hard, knowing when to dial it back down and rest. That way I can get back to it again. That's the biggest balance for me, is like, okay, you've done so much, it's time to turn it off for a second and breathe, get your mind right, rest your body, go outside, walk. Because I think 2 weeks ago maybe I did about 20 weeks worth of asynchronous work for my master's class that's not even due right now, and I did it in 2 days. So just learning when to cut it off, and then being happy with the progress that you made. I think when we go down this road, we're too caught up in like I didn't do enough, I didn't do enough, I ain't do enough. And if your mindset is like that, you're never gonna be satisfied. And I don't say that in a complacent way, but you're never gonna give yourself the credit that you deserve because you're still stuck on. You're not focused on what you have right now. You're focused on what you don't have. So you're not focusing on that you did 20 weeks worth of homework. You're thinking like, oh, I got 4 other assignments to do. So it's just about being consistent, enduring, and getting to it, man. No excuses.
All right. What about you, Tati? What are you driving? You got the Rolls Royce, Lambo.
Ah,
I got them 2 cars out in that driveway.
here she go. Here she go.
I got them 2 cars out in that driveway out front of this house. And that's all
2 of them.
I got these.
Tati, how much is your vehicle?
Yeah, we getting. Are you?
These cars combined, Kelly.
No, your vehicle to success.
I'm there, bro.
The actions you're taking every day.
I'm telling you.
Oh,
I'm getting there.
okay.
Them vehicles
Uh-huh.
are priceless. My vehicle to success don't got a number.
Ooh. Talk your talk, queen.
I treat them with respect because that vehicle is necessary for me to get from point A to point B and enjoy the journey along the way. You can tell when somebody appreciates their vehicle to success by the way they treat that vehicle and the way they handle themselves while they're behind the wheel of that vehicle.
Pew pew. Yeah.
So I love
it. Enjoy the journey.
I was just trying to do something for fun, but it looks like it got taken too serious.
No,
Oh my God.
I mean, we're just.
I could tell something was up, but I'll move on to the next question, bro. What do you do when your goals change? Do you keep the same vehicle? How do you approach that situation?
Keep the same vehicle.
Are they similar goals or like polar opposites?
I think that would depend on whatever you're trying to do. Like for instance, you were working like with the property manager stuff, but you're transitioning into entrepreneurship, self-employment. Those are kind of polar opposites. So you have to kind of make different goals, you know? You have to make your own goals, whereas before when you went to work, someone else was most likely making a large portion of the goals for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it could be like that. I would say sometimes you need to change vehicles. You know, like sometimes the vehicle that you have was just to get you started. You know, like when I was in college, I had vehicles that I just, I would have just because they were able to get me from point A to point B. But if I needed to drive to another city on a consistent basis, they wouldn't have been able to do that. And at that time, I had to get a different vehicle that could handle that. And sometimes the vehicle that we start with, we'll know whether we should keep it or not by if it can handle the journey that we're now trying to take on. So for instance, if our journey now requires us to be where we were in the past sooner, like you could fly, there goes the camera. You could fly from Texas to Nevada in a few hours, but if you drive, it's going to take you almost 22 hours, right? But if the level that you're at needs you to be to Nevada in 2 or 3 hours, now you need to switch to that airplane. You need a different vehicle for what you're trying to do. So now I can go to Nevada and Texas. I can do 4 or 5 trips before someone driving could do it once. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on what your goal is. Where are you trying to go? Some people's vehicle to success, it's it's good for them because maybe they don't really want to upgrade or do anything new. They're okay with traveling on the same road. That's kind of how I took it. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna ride it till the wheels fall off, for real. I'm gonna just get everything I can out of it before I decide to switch to a new vehicle. Because if I'm switching to another vehicle, then I'm not being satisfied with what I have. I'm more focused on what I don't have. So for me, it's just like Tatiana said about appreciating the value of the car and getting everything I can out of it. You know, if it gets me 500,000 miles, then it gets me 500,000 miles. And then when it's time to switch, I can be okay with switching because I saved up for that 500,000 miles rather than hitting 180,000 miles and I'm like, I'm done with this new car and I'm going backwards instead of forwards. So I'm trying to squeeze everything I can out of it before that transition. Because if it got me from point A to point B, it's gonna get me from B to C to D to E to F, you know, and so forth and so on. So I'm gonna keep riding until I need to get rid of it.
I feel like it depends on the journey that you're on. Maybe it just needs a little tune-up, but I do feel like it is important to know when to change your vehicle. Because like you said, you don't want to get stuck on one track.
Yeah. So with that being said, how do you know when it's time to change your goals? Like Ty was saying, he gets up, he kind of has a routine and he's, you know, being consistent. How do you know when it's time to be consistent in something else?
I guess it's dependent on the person, really. Like I said this last podcast, you know, not being attached to certain things because you might, the way it works, that you might only be able to enjoy that time period for like a year. You know what I mean? So when you try to keep going at something that's not working, and you're facing a lot of resistance, that may be the time to switch up your goals, to dip into something else because you've already experienced that one thing at its fullest and you already squeezed everything you could out of it. It's time for you to move on to something else. I think a lot of people get stuck staying in the one same position because they weren't present in the journey, and they got to the end. They're like, well, where's it at? And you missed it because you weren't paying attention. You were too busy focusing on, again, what you don't have instead of what you had. You got to the moment where you had everything and you missed it because you were just too focused on the finish line.
What do you think, Shalisha?
I agree. I feel like if you're doing the same thing over and over and you're not getting any results, obviously, then you need to change. It's also the definition of insanity. Learned that this week. Applied it to myself this week.
Hey, I'm done with you. I'm done with you. Insanity.
It is. That is the definition of insanity. When you do the same thing over and over again and you expect a different result and you keep getting the same result. That's insanity.
And I mean, I think sometimes people... Oh, my bad.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Hold up.
I didn't want to be...
We're not about to speak past that. He just showed Shalisha some manners. I think we need 10 seconds of silence.
This guy.
Oh,
I don't care about that horsehair.
It's nice. How nice. It's nice when people are nice just as much as you.
Hey, she's the last member of the Jackson 5. Anyways, you know, I think for some people,
I'm so proud of myself. I haven't said a curse word. I'm just
they're so focused on the goal. And I got an example, like one of my partners, he's been overseas probably like 5 or 6 times at least. And he has a dream of going to the league and doing those things. And he just had a baby recently. And he ended up leaving, and he won't be back until probably like October, November, really. And I had talked to Fitz about this because at some point, when do you switch it off? You know, we talked about that earlier this week about when to switch it off. Because if it hasn't happened now, after these, I say the first 4 times, and he's been killing it. Like when I say killing it, he's been squeezing everything he can out of it. But like maybe that's just it. there's no more after that. And I feel like he's taking it for granted because he's so focused on the end goal that he forgot to enjoy the middle of it. Because now he does have a kid, he does have a responsibility, he does have a partner, she has kids and stuff like that. So when do you switch it off to invest that energy and time into something else? Because you're spending 6 months overseas and you're getting paid only a certain amount of money, but you could be investing that in something else that can put you in a different environment or setting or area, country, whatever. And I didn't have this conversation with him because I didn't feel like it was my place, even though I partner. But we have to learn when to let go. I think we're too attached to this certain specific goal that we almost not even limit, but we almost self-destruct because there's so many other things that we're good at, but we're focused just on this one thing to the point where it's like we don't want to dibble and dabble nothing else. And then when you hit 35, you're like, dang, I should have done this. When you could have just, hey, let me step back. I know it's gonna hurt, and let me try these other things. Because when you're in your car, you need to stay in your lane. You know, you stay in your lane for so long, but you also got to switch lanes eventually.
So this is interesting because, you know, I think when it comes to the goals, it's a dicey territory when we say when should someone stop pursuing their goal, because you never know. But what I will say is there's signs that can let you know whether it's you or the goal, you know. And I think that much like we're talking about the vehicle for success, I think that some vehicles are meant for multiple passengers, or some are just meant for like one or two, you know. And another question that came up was, how do you know which vehicle is the right one for your journey? Pretty much, how do you know that's the right vehicle to get you to your destination? So if you have a goal, don't just have a goal, have a bigger reason why you have the goal. Like, a goal is actually just a stepping stone to get you to your bigger vision, right? So, but when you treat the goal as the end all be all, that's where I think people mess up at, is because that should just be a stepping stone to get you to a bigger place or a different place that you have sat down and consciously thought of. But it takes reflection. You know, like, you are a different person a month from now than you were the month before. Like, things may have changed. You may see the world differently. But if you never go back to those goals and reevaluate them and ask what's the bigger purpose behind this, what's the vision, what's the bigger picture, all those things, then you can get caught up in the goal. You know, like for me, it was college. I think college was my goal. You know, I was treating college like my purpose instead of a goal. So I thought that college, getting a degree, was the goal, but then there was nothing left after that. I didn't care about a job. I didn't care about anything. It was just like, I just need a degree, and all the magic, Peter Pan will fall in, like, you know, like everything, Elsa, all the fictional characters. It's like, I'll be living that type of life where everything just falls into place and, you know, it's all good. But it wasn't until I asked the deeper questions of, well, why do I actually want a degree? Oh, I want a degree so I can have a better job. What's a better job look like? Oh, a better job is the pay and having more autonomy and stuff. And then it clicked, and it's like, okay, well, if I actually want the freedom that I'm talking about, then I can't get that in this job. So working on a degree for years and then having that realization, had I have done that prior to, I would have used a different vehicle through college. Maybe I would have went for business instead of psychology. You know what I'm saying? So I think sitting down and asking what's the bigger picture can really help with the goal. So like your friend, maybe if you talk to him and have a conversation, just like, okay, I see you're doing this, you have your goal, but what's the bigger picture? What's the bigger picture here for you? Because some people never consider that there are other options to do it. You know, if you're just hungry, that's different than if you want a burrito. You know, if you're hungry, we can go to multiple places, but if you specifically want a burrito, that's a different story. Right. What do you guys think? What
I
do you
think it's
got?
a time. I think it's a time and place, especially for that conversation. There's moments where I can really dive in, and kind of not really save the day, but offer a different perspective and make him, make not just him but anybody think a little bit deeper. Because I think with college, I felt that way too. Because once you get out into the quote unquote real world after you're done with school and all these things, um, especially if you do a field like you and I have done, it's kind of on the downslide, really. It's more about the money and how much they can keep people, you know, in the line of robots, pretty much. Um, I think it's just a time and place for the conversation. And like for me, for books, I really don't read all the time, or I listen to audiobooks, but I don't actively look for books. They kind of find me where I'm at in my lifetime. So like this book right now I'm reading, it fits exactly what I'm going through. So yeah, I just think it's a time and place for everything, man. And people got to be ready for that conversation.
Synchronicity. Synchronicity.
Look at you, Ti, using those big words.
So you can, I've been
Uh-uh.
I've been cleared of all charges. Okay. So
Look, here you go. Let's not even start that.
I want to see what Tati thinks about this next question, because she had kind of posed it, which is what happens, what do you do pretty much with your vehicle to success when you reach your destination? So we'll let Tati open that one up. What do you think you do when you reach your destination?
I think you do whatever you feel like doing. If you're at your destination and you've reached your end goal at that point, you either decide to keep the vehicle, recycle it, give it away, teach someone else how to use it. There's a lot of different things you could do. I don't think there's any one thing that you should or shouldn't do. It's just you have options and you decide for yourself what you decide to do.
Yeah, and
I like that.
I definitely think once you climb a mountain, you're in a different position to talk about the mountain, to make decisions about the mountain compared to when you first started climbing it. So if you've had this vehicle for success and you've been driving on these rocky roads, on the outside somebody may be like, oh well, this isn't going to make it to this new destination, but it's like, nah, I know this vehicle for success. And the crazy thing is like, when you, similar to what Ty was saying earlier, he squeezes everything he can out of that vehicle for success. When you do that, you're actually going against the grain of what a lot of people think, because I remember when I was in college and I was barely making like $600-700 a month, and they were asking me, at the school, like, how do you survive off of this? Like, because they couldn't do it in their mind, they couldn't do it. So they want to know how I was able to do it. And it's like, I've had this vehicle for so long that I know certain things that you may not know about this vehicle, right? So on the outside looking in, you see $600. I don't see $600. You know what I'm saying? I see food, a roof over my head. Like I don't see all the things that you see with the thousands of dollars you make a month, because you're used to living based on that. If I'm only making $600-700, I have to find a way to ride this thing out until I get to a better position. And I don't think people ride their goals out. Like your friend, it seems like he's riding it out, but I don't think people do that enough. I think that when the going gets tough, people turn that vehicle to success around, and it actually becomes not a vehicle for success, but a vehicle for comfort, a vehicle for, like, it becomes the drive-in movie theater vehicle where you just got it sitting there and you watching something else. I don't know.
A participation trophy.
Yeah, like I got a car, but I'm not really going nowhere with it, type of deal.
Yeah. I got a question. Is your vehicle success? Is it off-road worthy? Can it go in the water? Because there's cars that can go in the water and they can go back on the road. So what does it look like? For those bumpy times or those,
Multi-purpose?
you know, where you have to go in a different direction that may require you to go over a body of water. Is your car going to make it? Can you do that, or do you have to leave your car behind?
So I think that's a great question. And I think to our viewers, maybe a more helpful way to phrase it is, how do you make a multi-purpose vehicle, right? Because if we have a multi-purpose vehicle, that doesn't do any, like if I have one, that doesn't do nothing for the next person. But if I can show you how to make one in the beginning, then that's empowering, right? And so I think a lot of people, they don't actually know what they want in the beginning. They have like a fuzzy idea, but they don't dig deep enough so that they can get to the point to where they say, I want a multi-purpose vehicle, but I also want to build one, so that it can go through all of this and go through all of that. You have to look far enough ahead to even know that you need a multi-purpose vehicle, right? Like if you're driving through multiple states, some states may be sunny, but then you hit snow. You need to know if you need snow tires. But some people are so focused on just the first state that they drive through that they're not looking at they got to drive through Colorado. Like they're just looking at they're driving through Utah or something. But you're going to hit another state and you need to be prepared for that. And you got to ask yourself, do you want your vehicle of success to be on the side of the road, watching other cars go by, getting closer to their goals and you're not getting closer to yours? Or do you want to be driving and do you want to look back and do you want to say, hey, the road's clear up here. Follow me. You may get off on a different exit, but we're on this road together. And I think that's the question that people should be asking themselves is, how do I make the vehicle for the journey that I'm about to take? What do you guys think?
I definitely agree. When it comes to figuring out what exactly it is that you want, you have to dig deep in order to do that, or else it's just going to be, you're going to come to like a lot of standstills. Instead of just having all of your eggs in one basket, you're going to be trying to scramble around and pick up the eggs like they're on an Easter egg hunt, when you can just already have that from jump. I do feel like why you want to do it is important as well, because that helps motivate you if you have a purpose as to what you're doing, whether it's riches, fame, money, family, regardless. I feel like you do need to have a purpose.
Mm-hmm. So when you're driving your vehicle for success, do you look out the window and, look at other people's vehicles, or are you more so looking forward, focused on what you're focused on, the road ahead of you? And why or why not?
I wouldn't pay too much time in what somebody else has. If it can help you and advance you to the next level or get you to closer to your end goal, then that's fine. But I wouldn't pay too close of attention, because then you can get distracted at what they have and not be focusing on your vehicle and what you have.
What if you do it with the goal? What if you're looking at their vehicle for success, but you're doing it for a certain reason? Like, what if you have a goal or a certain...
If it can benefit you or help you in any way, by means, yes. But again, I just wouldn't get too caught up on it.
I'm focusing on...
Because it could look nice, but, the grass ain't always green on the other side. If you have a goal, that's fine. But if you don't know and you're just trying to be nosy, trying to see what the next person has, I don't think it's going to last, because it's not something that you want. It's not something, it may not be something you're passionate about or something you're good at.
What if they got Chick-fil-A in the car?
This guy.
I don't like Chick-fil-A, so we ain't going for it.
What if they got Del Taco?
The nachos.
I'm going to smell it, but I'm going to keep going. I'm like, you know what? We're going to go get our own Del Taco. We're not doing that.
Hey, I'm focused on the people that got the same car as me, though. So I feel like they're going to be going the same direction as I'm going. So I'm going to utilize those people along the way, and we're going to help each other out. And I say that because I got a Jeep. So there's like a little Jeep community of people, and it seems like everybody cool with everybody. You always get the Jeep wave. And it's random people, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like if I was pulled over on the side of the road, they not finna pass me. They finna pull over and be like, hey, we got you. Here you go. And get me going. So I feel like focus on the people that are going your way and help each other along the way to get there. And also, to your comment, the grass ain't green on the other side. Sometimes the grass is greener on the other side. It's just you miss your grass because you could have turned your grass into that grass once you found out how they did it.
Right, but why are you trying to figure out if their grass is green on the other side when you could just be watering your own grass to have it green?
Some people have more knowledge than you, and sometimes you have to go on the other side to get
That's
that
why
knowledge in
I
order to bring
also
it back.
said if it's helpful and it's going to advance you, yes, but I personally don't get too caught up on it.
Hey, sometimes you need to learn from other people.
I love learning from other people. I love other people's perspectives. I'm all for that. But I get that perspective and I know how to separate it and not be like, ooh, what if? No, there's no what if. We got what we got right here and we're good with that. We're going to grow it. We're going to take that knowledge and use it to help grow ours. But I'm not going to get too caught up on what the next person has.
Why not?
Because I have my own.
What if they have something that you want to explore?
Then again, you get that knowledge, slurp it up. But once I slurped up that knowledge, now we're going to go take it back and apply it over here. We're not pausing. We're just going to keep that going.
Hey, bro. Hey.
We're supposed to be, what is it? Centered, whatever. Yes. But yeah, you get the knowledge, apply it to what you got to do, and stay focused on your track and your own path.
Interesting. I'll make sure to run you off the road then.
I didn't say I was gonna run you off the road. I just said
it's a dog eat dog world.
My main purpose and my main focus is what's in front of me. Can't always be looking back and looking to the side. That's how you swerve. That's how you run into a wall. That's.
I think you do the best with what you got. If your grass is growing, at a different pace, it's a different color, might be a different type. Maybe it's not supposed to look like that grass over there.
Right.
Grass isn't always green. Bamboo is grass. That kind of got a tan color to it, and it grows tall.
It does.
You can do more with it,
It does.
Some grass doesn't require water. Some grass requires a whole lot of it. So, there's different types of grass, and you never know what you got. Too busy looking at someone else to maybe put in the research to figure out, oh, this is the kind of grass I got, and it's supposed to look like this, and this means it's healthy. It's actually healthy, and it just doesn't look like that typical green, shorter blade of grass that has been advertised to us. And as far as the question you asked originally about looking at other people's vehicles, I kind of agree with Tyree. I think when you see someone driving the same vehicle as you, especially if it's something that's not as common, like my blue car is, it's not the most common vehicle. I'm not going to say what it is because people be creeping, but yeah, I know my vehicle isn't the most common type. It's not like it's not a Toyota Camry where you see a whole bunch of those. It's something that is kind of off the beaten path a bit. So when I see it, definitely it's a similar type of thing. It's like a little community, like a niche, like, oh, you picked that car too, okay, or oh, you ended up with that somehow. That's cool. So definitely that stands out, but it's not like I'm going to start asking them all types of questions and getting in their business. Is just kind of like, I see you got good taste over there.
Kudos.
Good taste. I like that.
Got good taste over there. I definitely like to enjoy the journey. I think that's important, looking out the window. I think it's good to be aware of what's around you, but I don't think you should get too caught up in it. There's only so much you can control, and if it's not in your control, I don't think it's worth putting your energy into too much, because there's not much you're gonna be able to get out of it.
Yeah, and I also think it's interesting when it comes to entrepreneurship. A lot of the things where, and I think this is where a lot of people struggle at, is a lot of the things growing up that we were told are not within our control actually are within our control. Like we're taught that you have to go ask someone and negotiate for a salary, and that someone else determines your worth pretty much. But with entrepreneurship, you can literally set how much you want to make, and you can work towards that, and you get to determine your value. So someone that, you know, is playing by the 9-to-5 mindset, they may say, well, that's not within my control. I can't ask for that amount, or I can't charge that amount. No one's ever going to pay me that. Or, you know, I can't make money doing, like, there's somebody that makes, I don't know how much they make, but they make a lot of money, and all they do is throw salt on steaks. Like, they come out at a restaurant here and all around the world, they own this restaurant, and they come out and people pay them money to go like this and sprinkle salt on the steak. Who in their right mind, you know, is thinking that ahead of time?
Is this a true thing?
Yes, this is a true thing. There's someone, you can look it up online. There's someone, he has restaurants, and he goes,
I just ain't never heard of it.
there's gold plated steaks. They make steaks with gold on them. And this dude comes and he cuts the steaks. He owns the restaurant.
Real gold?
Real gold. You can, I found this out.
They're eating real gold?
You can eat gold as long as it's 24 karat or above, because it doesn't mess with your digestive system or something. But yes, they put gold on the steak, and then this dude comes out and sprinkles salt on it, and he makes a bunch of money doing that. But if someone,
his name is Salt Bae.
Yeah, if someone's telling you it's Salt
Bae.
If somebody was telling
It's
you
Turkish.
about that, though, you may say that I can't do that. That's not something that's possible. You know, like, I can't. So you're telling me I can get this salt that's killing a bunch of people, by the way. I can get this salt and sprinkle it on some steak, and I'm gonna be rich. Who would believe that unless it happened first? But now that he's done it, other people may say, okay, maybe I could do something similar. Like the community that we're talking about. You see someone else doing it, and now all of a sudden, other people are doing it. That's how a lot of world records are broken, by the way. You know, like there's a record that hasn't been broken in 60, 70 years. One person does it, and then next year, someone else broke it. You know, that's just how it goes. But I did want to get to this next question before we wrap things up, because I think it's a good question. Why did you choose the vehicle that you chose? And are you driving that vehicle because someone else chose it for you? And maybe I'll start it off. So I think sometimes we just want a vehicle, right? We just want to get from point A to point B. We want to get things going. So I think we're willing to accept whatever vehicle initially. And as long as it rides, we're good. And then we try to customize it for the journey that we're going, and we try to squeeze everything out of it. But I think as far as the activities that I do on a day-to-day basis, those being my vehicle for success, why did I choose those activities? So I chose real estate because it's so vast, and you can make a lot of money at it. You can help people, and there's so much to learn. But I also, again, decided to pick a different vehicle, which is personal development, mindset coaching, and stuff like this. The podcast. I chose that vehicle because through this vehicle, there's so many different lanes that open up. You know, like there's like semis, they can't drive on certain roads because they're too big, right? So they're limited in where they can travel. I felt like I was limited in where I could travel. So I got into a vehicle that I could literally go whatever direction that I wanted to and still be good. So with life coaching, mindset development coaching, I can make money off of the website. You can make money off of coaching. You can make money off of live events. You can make money off of writing books. You can make money off of just, you know, doing group sessions. Like there's so many different ways you can make money and help people and still have the schedule that you want that fits in with your lifestyle. So for me, that was a way for me to take the vehicle that I had and switch it out for a different vehicle that now allows me to do more, to see more, to have more, and experience more in the way that I want to experience it. Like, I don't necessarily want to fly Spirit when I'm getting on an airplane. You know, like if I'm flying, I don't just want any airplane. Like, I want to be comfortable on the ride as well. And if I can be comfortable, then I'm going to choose a vehicle that I can be comfortable in, but still be making progress towards where I'm going. So that's why I chose the vehicle that I chose. And originally there were a bunch of outside forces trying to choose a vehicle for me, you know, but ultimately sometimes you have to roll the window down and lock the doors and just, you know, I don't see you, you know, type of deal, and then and speed off.
Like it's tinted.
Yeah. So that's my
limo tent.
long-winded answer. What do you guys think?
I chose my vehicle because of the capabilities that it has. I think the biggest quote I heard in my life was from Les Brown. And he talked about having a passion first that makes you money. He said to chase the passion rather than the money, and the money will come. But if you chase the money, you'll never find your passion. So for me,
That's nice.
just enjoying what I love to do, being in that constant state of flow, um, and just, I mean, really just not putting no limits on myself. If I want to learn something new, I learn something new. If I want to dig deeper into other things, I can. Um, but making sure that what I'm doing is I have a passion for it. It's not just something I'm doing to make me money, because then what's the purpose? What's the point of me doing this if I'm just in it for the money?
Gotta
Okay.
get me Ferrari.
This guy. Hey, why get a Ferrari when you can get two black stallion horses, two Mustangs to be exact?
You know. What do you think, Tati?
My vehicles were given to me, but they were given to me by someone who loved me very much. And they probably need very good vehicles to get me the distance that they knew I would travel. And that's very far. So every time I utilize my vehicles for success, I use them very wisely. I'm always grateful when I'm behind the wheel. And their memory lives on not just through those objects, but in the memories we shared together.
Mm. Can I have one?
No.
I will say though,
Need 'em
I
both.
got some cargo on the back when I do travel this road of success. I got my bike, because sometimes I gotta leave my car at the top, which is the foundation, to go down some of these narrow roads where I might fall off in my car, but I can get through on my bike.
Yeah, and that's that grit. You know what I'm saying? That's the grit. That's the purpose. The, you know, like, that's the thing. That's actually the source of it all. Like, you're driving your vehicle for success, but you're still the source. Because if you, I'll say this, if you can't leave your vehicle for success and still make it, then that was never your vehicle for success. Like, if your vehicle for success is the thing that gets you there, you actually haven't gotten there yet. You know, because at the end of the day, I'll put it like this, and this is just my personal opinion. I think that, you know, like Marcus Garvey said, a strong man is a strong man anywhere. So I feel like you should be able to, whatever vehicle you get in, you should be able to do something with it. But if we get so caught up in being in one specific vehicle, or, you know, like doing one specific thing, like if for instance, life coaching was made illegal tomorrow, or real estate was made illegal tomorrow, does that mean I just give up on life, that I no longer try to work towards my goals? No, I find a different vehicle and I get into it and I start driving. And along the way I say, oh, wait a minute, these seats are, you know, I could,
They're heated.
This leather.
Oh, it got automatic windows. It got, you know, so you never know.
Rear view
Just
camera.
when you focus on, I think when you focus on the bigger picture, the vehicle just becomes the mode of transportation, but it doesn't become the source. So when you get off and you go on your bike, you're still the source. So let's say that you got lost and you were still riding that bike. You still know how to ride a vehicle to now get you to where you need to go. It may be a different one, but I think that you could still make it work. And that's what separates the greats from the average, I think, is that the average are trying to just do that one vehicle. I think the great are like, okay, how can I take what I have and make it greater in whatever situation I'm in?
I'm phenomenal.
Yeah, phenomenal. That's, I think
We
you
got
guys
about
have
10
any?
minutes.
All right.
I got a question. I got a question for you.
Okay.
Something I thought
I
about this
didn't
week.
get to even answer.
Okay. What do you think?
Should have jumped in when you had the chance.
Y'all talk too much
What do you think, Shalise?
without pausing.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say that. Anywho, I was just gonna say why I chose my vehicle for success. That was it.
We know why.
Why did you choose?
Why? Well, I
The
chose
backup
my
camera?
vehicles for success. Yes. I chose my vehicles for success. One, because it is an avenue to financial freedom. But the thing that I like about it the most is that it is something that is flexible, especially with time. And because I do have a lot of interest in other things that I would like to pursue, it's going to be able to open that up as well too. Also, I feel like it'll be good for when I get older because I'm used to having some sort of income. Even if I have a retirement, I feel like I'd still want to do something. I don't know if I could just like not do nothing at all, but it'll also give me the opportunity to spend time with my family, more time with my family. So yeah.
Nice. What was your question, Ty?
And wait, I'm not done. Back to the other thing we said we were talking about earlier, looking at other people's vehicles. I feel like it comes into play because I looked at your vehicle and I tied your vehicle and what you're doing to things that I want in my life. So it is good to look, like I was saying earlier, to look at other people's vehicles, but find a way to incorporate that into your own plans and what you want. So
Whose vehicle are you talking about?
Robert.
Okay.
We don't
clarify.
We don't know anyone named Robert.
Oh,
Robert,
Fitz.
Alec, Patrick.
Fitz.
I got a question.
All right.
If you were to lose everything tomorrow, everything, you just have the basic necessities: house, car, family. If you were to lose everything, the money, the work, everything, would you still be happy?
Yes.
Why?
Wait, did you say lose the family?
No, I said your family.
Okay, yes.
Some of them.
I was just clarifying. But yeah, I'd still be happy.
I wouldn't.
Why?
I wouldn't be happy because
I'd be happy, but I wouldn't be satisfied.
yeah, so believe it or not, happiness is not actually it's not a stable state of being. Happiness is actually an emotion, but it's not a mood. You know, like fulfillment is more so what I look towards, but happiness is like if somebody came in and smacked me in the face, I probably would be happy. You know, like it changes. Like something could happen and now you're happy, now you're sad, now you're glad. But fulfillment is an overall feeling of, you know, like this is my life. I'm overall fulfilled with my life. So I think I think I wouldn't be happy because my emotions would be probably changed in that moment. But as far as fulfilled, I would probably be fulfilled because I know if I lost it, then I didn't do a good enough job to keep it. And that's just another challenge for me to, you know, figure out a way to get it back and keep it. It's a learning lesson, you know, it's just part of life. That happened to me, you know. I lost 2 deals that were worth like 12, 13,000 and I was depending on those. But was I happy that I lost them? No. But am I still the same person? Am I still fulfilled in life? Do I still wake up and brush my teeth and, you know, put socks on and stuff? Yeah.
This guy.
I'm still good. I'm good. now I'm figuring out different ways to go about it, and I'm progressing and I'm making the necessary changes. But as a person, I think that I was fulfilled, and I'm more so thinking, you know, like, why was I in the position to where I needed those deals in the first place? How can I change that? I'm not, you know, tripping on the situation. It's more so,
You had a conversation with yourself.
yeah, you have conversations with yourself, but you don't beat yourself up. You just say, oh, well, you know, why was I in that situation? And how can I not be in this situation in the future? And then your vehicle to success changes. You know, you make the adjustments. Maybe you put on a fender or something like that. You get some NOS in the vehicle, and you just keep driving.
Master Uguay, you got any feedback for that, Tatiana?
Yeah, I won't say I'm always happy, but I will say I've been fulfilled for quite some time. For many, many years, I've been fulfilled. I believe fulfillment is something that stems from within, and something that
Yay.
cannot be
Go, girl.
gained from external objects. I think it's something that you have to find within yourself. And I think, you know, happiness, you know, like Robert was saying, is an emotion, and it's something that can ebb and flow, but fulfillment is something that, you know, that stems from within. And I think it's just a matter of that fight to disallow others from attempting to, or I should say, succeeding at, you know, getting at your fulfillment and your feeling of being fulfilled, because there's a lot of envy and jealousy that can stem from people seeing that you are fulfilled and they are not, and them trying to take away from your fulfillment in the hopes that, for in some weird way, it makes them feel a little bit better about them not being fulfilled. It's very disgusting. Very
Yes, I
I
agree.
got-
The envious,
I got another question. This is my last question because I know we're finna wrap up. If you couldn't do your passion or your purpose tomorrow, what is one other thing that you would do? If you couldn't do real estate, uh, horsehair, Tatiana, I know you got a million things going on. But if you couldn't do one thing,
without any curse words,
if you couldn't do that one thing, what else would you do?
I think I would just find a new passion. It would just be like,
What would
oh,
it be?
I don't know. I'd have to find it when it came to that. Like, I don't, it's hard to say because I'm not thinking of it like, oh, I can't do what I want to do. Cause that's never happened to me. Anything that I want to do, I just do it, you know, like, and I'm just lucky that I don't want to do things that are illegal or that'll get me in trouble. You know what I'm saying? But the things that I want to do, I've always been able to do them. So if, let's say, I wasn't able to do them because the law changed or something like that, you know, something practical where the law changed, or, you know, didn't have the money to sustain the business, then I would just do something else. And then I would develop a passion for that or whatever. But I'm always trying to grow. So that's the main thing. So my passion isn't the source. My mindset is the source. And I'm actually surprised that nobody said this, you know, that their mindset was their vehicle for success, you know, because I think that is the ultimate source, you know, when we're talking about the vehicle for success is the mindset, you know, because everything else can pretty much be taken away or it can change, or there's some amount of it that's outside of your control. With the mindset, you can literally dictate your mindset, you know, like there were slaves, they had a certain mindset, and because of that mindset, they were able to go on and do maybe some things that, you know, other people weren't. Frederick Douglass, he had a different mindset. He was born a slave. He went through some things, but his mindset was different. He said, I'm in the body of someone who's considered a slave, but I have the mindset of someone who is free, and I have the mindset of someone who's going to take this black body, this vehicle, and go places where other black people don't go. And so that's what I'm focused on, is developing the mindset so that I can get in any car and be like, okay, I know how to drive this, and this is going to get me here, and this is going to get me here. Now, when I jump in the vehicle, I know, okay, this car gets this amount of gallons per mile. It may have these problems or whatever, and I can make better decisions. But that's all centered around the mindset. So that's what I would do, is just find something else to do and keep it pushing. It's not that serious, you know, like it's a passion, but I can always develop another passion if I have to.
Selling dope.
Right. I agree. And I'm just a very passionate person. So there's passion in everything I do. I always put my all into it. So
I got to be passionate about waking up. That's what I'll do. You know, like
right.
Oh my God.
I'll get rich waking up if I have to.
Can't stand you.
Because once I get to a certain level, I can do whatever I want to do. I can find whatever passion, you know. You may not even know what your real passion is if you're exposed to it, but that exposure may come from you doing something that you thought was your passion, and now you get to this level and you're like, oh wow, you know, now there's fruits and vegetables. Before I was just eating ramen. They have fruits and vegetables, and this makes you feel this way. Okay, now I'm passionate about eating fruits and vegetables. But I would have never known that if I didn't get to a certain point in life where I was able to get away from people that only ate unhealthy and get around people that ate healthy, to be able to see there's a different lifestyle.
It's like actually saying you don't like chitlins and then trying chitlins. There's a difference.
Okay.
What?
A lot of people say,
what?
Well, no. Yes, because a lot of people, you know, if they smell it, they're like, oh, that's nasty. I'm not trying that. I'm not eating it. And then they just don't eat it. And then once you actually eat it, you know, throw a little sauce on it. It's all right.
Bruh, first of all, that's like sticking your head into a toilet. Do not advertise that. People do not listen to her. That is like sticking your head into the toilet. Don't do that.
They're gonna see this and be like, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, let's give these people their practical pieces of advice. We'll start with Tati.
We'll start with Fitz today.
Okay, we'll start
Save
with
Tati for last.
Okay.
You gotta save the best for last.
Yeah, let's do that. So
You're welcome.
So my practical piece of advice is, one, go read the blog post that I made. It's going to be in the description. Talks about the vehicle for success in a little more detail. Two, I would say you need to focus on your goals outside of just when you write them down. Like you don't just write it down and then forget about it. You have to revisit it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't just write it down and then not look at it and then just start working at it. You have to act. It's a living thing in another sense. It's like another person. You know, you don't just lock someone that you love in a dark room and you never see them and stuff. Like, you visit them, you nurture it, you care for it, you're sensitive with it, you talk to your goals. You like, it is a living thing. Your goals are living things, and that's how you have to approach them. So when you neglect them and when you think that you can just write them down and then that's all the attention they need, you're setting that goal up to now neglect you, because that goal has a life of its own as well. And if you're not feeding that goal, it's going to get its food from somewhere else, just not you. And then that's when you see other people achieving the goals that you set. So make sure that you're revisiting your goals. Make sure that you're taking it seriously. You should be spending at least 30 minutes minimum on yourself every single day, reflecting on what you want out of life and what progress you're making towards that. It's a habit. And the more you get into it, the more automatic it will be. A habit is just an automatic solution. You've come to this problem so many times that you have an automatic solution for it. So your goal needs an automatic solution, which is a habit. look at them every day, work on them every day, keep pushing forward, and get you a Jeep. All right. Ty.
Wrangler.
Gang, gang. You gotta get a Wrangler. It's a different type of vibe. You feel me? This one's from my book. It says, it's a quote. It says, "It's a painful journey, but a beautiful lotus flower can bloom even in the mud." That's it.
Please don't slam that book. That book.
There's a picture too if y'all want to see it.
It says, so it says the lotus. That's a lotus?
Can you see that? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's from Naruto too. And Naruto,
We not about to know.
Yeah, it's a Buddhist book.
Ain't no Kamehameha over here, Robert.
That's-
Chill out.
Yo, chill. That's Dragon Ball Z.
Chill out.
Yeah, hey, respect the
He
anime,
rolled
bro.
his eyes. He got a whole attitude.
Respect the anime, bro.
That's
There's
disrespectful.
there's some life teachings in that thing.
Yeah.
I will say, My Hero Academia hits.
Well,
That's
what's
the only
your
one
what's
I
your
watched.
practical piece of advice, hater?
Yeah. It's a horsehair.
Don't you
I'm
ever
not.
let Goku.
Look.
You know how many times that man done saved Earth?
Yeah.
Way by. Anyway.
Let's see you do it.
My. What? I didn't hear what you said.
So let's
She
see
be-
you do a spirit bomb and beat Frieza.
Oh,
she would be Frieza.
I need to Google this.
Look up Frieza. Look up Frieza's.
I am.
Look in the mirror.
Look up Frieza final form, and that's what Ty is saying you look like.
Final form. I'm not talking about the final form.
I'm looking it up. Oh my god.
Ah!
Frieza.
How?
Yo, Lord Frieza.
Like how?
Maybe I'll name the episode Lord Frieza.
Ah!
What's your practical piece of advice?
You made me lose my train of thought, but I had a couple, so it's okay. My practical piece of advice is going to be focus on figuring out what your end goal is. So that way you can have all your eggs in one basket at one time and you're not trying to scramble around and picking them up like you're on an Easter egg hunt.
I like Easter egg hunts.
Anyway.
The journey's better that way.
All right, the best for last.
Introducing.
We need like sound effects, like I'm getting it.
All praise to the Most High. Talk to you.
Do not conform your mind to a particular passion because that can change. Just do what you want when you want to.
Preach,
go, girl.
Amen.
If you want to go walk around one day and then go skateboard in the next, and then go hop in the car and drive to Canada and back just to say you drove to Canada and back, just do it. You live and then you die. The time in between is all that's guaranteed. So just utilize it, enjoy it, find fulfillment, and figure out what makes you happy on a day-to-day.
Yeah.
Live life with the absence of pain and as much pleasure as you can. Just as much pleasure as you can find and absence of pain as possible. And, keep the ones who care about you and you care about them close, and just be vigilant.
Yeah.
All right, there we have it. Another episode of From the Bottom podcast. Make sure you like the video, comment, subscribe, share, all that great stuff. Check out the description for all of the information on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, at Fitzmindset, fitzmindset.com. Check out the blog, some great material in there. Join our email list so that you're up to date on everything that's going on. And if you're looking for some one-on-one coaching, make sure you hit me up. Fitzmindset.
Yes.
Go schedule your discovery call right now. My prices are always going up, so make sure you get in while they're good, because
From 25
limited.
to 50 cents.
Nah, with a little more than that.
I'm done.
75 cents.
All right.
Text.
Oh yeah, text Fitzmindset to 22828. Again, that's Fitzmindset to 22828. I'll put it in the description. Get the free life balance workbook and the free core beliefs workbook. Really change your life.
Hey,
All
he sound
right.
like that. He sound like that old college commercial.
Hey.
You know what I'm talking about? The black dude on there.
Oh yeah, I know.
Oh yeah.
DeVry or something.
DeVry Institute.
He was like, "Are you sitting at home right now?"
Right. Yep.
It's coming back up. All right, from the bottom.
Getting
From
it
the
out
bottom.
the mud. Show us
Gang.
Support.
Show
Leave
some
feedback.
love.